Good morning, church. Today we're looking at Luke 23. This is the part of the gospel that deals with the trial of Jesus with Pilate and with the crucifixion of Jesus. They're very, very emotive passages. Today I just want to look at the trial of Jesus with Pilate. And so Jesus is brought straight to Pilate in the very early hours of the morning, and Pilate is put in a very awkward position actually to be asked that he deals with Jesus, because as far as they say, he's said that they shouldn't pay money to Caesar, which is not perhaps exactly what Jesus said. So they're trying to use that to get Pilate on their side, and then they say he is the Messiah. And it doesn't say this in Luke, but elsewhere he is claimed to be the Son of God, which offends their religion. And Pilate can't find anything wrong with Jesus. He sends him away to Herod, perhaps a way of trying to get out of this, but Herod sends him back to him. So he's left to make the decision, because he also says, well, you religious leaders, you take him away and deal with him. They say, well, we can't crucify him. You have to give us that permission. So he really is put on the spot, and in some ways, I actually have a bit of sympathy for him. But I think what this passage is teaching us is, how do we deal with the truth? How do we deal with things when we know the truth, but we realize that it will either offend others or it will cause problems for others by speaking truth? In some ways, I'd like to compare this with John 8. I think it's 1 to 11, where the Pharisees again are trying to trap Jesus like they're now trying to trap Pilate. And they're saying to him, you have an adulterous woman in front of you. We say you should stone her. What are you going to do about it? What's your judgment on this? And Jesus has a love for the individual woman. And perhaps that's the basis of all this. Pilate has to keep order. And again, as I have a certain amount of sympathy with him. But to do that, he has to sacrifice the individual. He has to sacrifice Jesus to keep order. But when Jesus is asked by the Pharisees about keeping order, in other words, we don't want the law and things in our society to fall apart, therefore let's sacrifice this woman to make a statement to others. Jesus takes it in a totally different way, and he has compassion for her and turns it on those that are just trying to use some circumstances to make their own individual point. So I think for me this chapter, this chapter, but this section of the chapter is talking about truth. It's talking about how we deal with individual people rather than just making rules to satisfy everybody else. And perhaps we need to look at this as churches as well. It's that the individual person is vitally important, and that's what Jesus' kingdom does. It looks after the individual person. It looks after you and me, as well as just trying to keep order as well. So it's an interesting passage, and I haven't even touched on anything to do with the crucifixion. So delve into it. It'll probably take you a long time to think through the particular section about Jesus coming to Pilate. Enjoy your read of it.